Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to another segment of Code Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. We begin today with Rag Asa Mahalla Pehla, composition of the first Nanak. We have completed the Patti of Guru Ram Amar Das, and now this is Rag Asa Mahalla Pehla Chant, which is a literary genre. Kar Pehla, to be recited or sung in the first beat. So that is a notation for the percussion, of which I know very little. The chant, or this composition, consists of 4 stanzas, discrete stanzas. But because our aim is to do as much as is possible to assimilate properly, to digest, to metabolize, we will consider only the first stanza today and then do one stanza at a time. Otherwise, this Shabad will become a bit too long, both in terms of the podcast as well as in the writing, with the hope that the readers and the listeners will understand what we are trying to do. So I will only recite the first stanza and speak to it. Ik oankar Satguru Prasad, Mundh Joban Balarie, Mera Pir Raliala Ram, Tan Pir Neho Ghana, Ras Preet Dayala Ram, Tan Pir Hai Mela Hoye Swami, Aap Prabh Kirpa Kare, Seja Suhavi Sang Pir Kai, Saat Sar Amrit Pare, Kar Daya Maya Dayal Sache, Shabad Mil Gun Gavo, Nanika Har Var Dekh Bigsi, Mundh Man Umaho. Mundh Joban Balarie. This is an address to the mind. The mind is a baladi. A baladi is young. It also means strong. It means infantile. So Balarie is accompanied by the words Mundh Joban. Mundh has many connotations, but it is primarily used to symbolize a young, youthful bride who's yet to mature into a mother. Mundh Joban Balarie. Joban, youthful, young. Balarie, similar meaning. Mundh also means naked, shallow, pretender. So what is being said here to the mind? Mundh Joban Balarie, when Guru Nanak addresses them, the mind, the infantile mind, it's not yet developed, hasn't been matured. Mera pir raliyala ram. So the Guru is saying, listen to me, my mind, you're young and shallow, but the great spouse, Mera Pir Raliyala Ram, is playful. The spouse is playful, and it is Ram. It is all pervading. Tan Pir Neho Ghana. Tan again means a bride. Pir, the big one, the big spouse. Neho, the love between the two, is very strong. There's a great attraction. Tarpil Neho Kana. So what is being said here is that the mind which is in its natural state infantile, not developed. When we say not developed, Mundh Joban Balarie, what we mean is that it has not been harnessed to realize that it is indeed the self, that there is a higher consciousness within it that it is unaware of. That higher consciousness is called the Pir, the bigger one. So Tan Pir Neho Ghana, there is a strong magnetic pull between the two. Rasapreet Dayala Ram. So, Mundh Joban Balarie, Mera Pir Raliala Ram, Tan Pir Neho Ghana, Rasapreet Dayala Ram. So, the spouse is the all-pervading, playful self. The infantile mind is the ego. The two are strongly attracted to each other. And this attraction or love can be consummated only when the Ram, the spouse, is gracious. Rasa, Preet, Dayala, gracious, compassion. So it is a matter of compassion. Guruji is explaining to us our relationship with that higher consciousness that we also call the Creator. Tan pir hai mela hoye Swami. The union of the bride and the spouse, now these are symbolisms for the mind and the Creator, is a gift of wisdom from the merciful spouse, who happens to be the master of all. Tan pir hai mela hoye Swami. Aap Prabh kirpa kare. Prabh symbolizes the wisdom of the Lord, the Swami, the master. Seja suhavi sang pir kai. Seja, the conjugal bed. Suhavi is very pleasant. Sang pir ke. So to lie on the conjugal bed, in other words, to be in the embrace of the spouse. Now this is, being spoken in terms of lovers. Delightful is the experience of being in the embrace of the spouse on the conjugal bed. It is as delightful as Sat Sar Amrit Pare, as being filled to the brim with the nectar of the seven seas. Again, symbolism for immortality. It is that powerful, this conjugal embrace. So then, this particular stanza concludes with a plea. Kar daya maya dayal sache, a reference to the self. Kar daya maya sache. So this is an appeal, a longing, if you will, for that embrace. Sache sabdi. So the bride who yearns for her spouse pleads, please show mercy, O compassionate one. Kar daya maya dayal. Pray instruct me through your word, the Shabad, so that I may adorn myself with your virtues. That's the idea. Sabdi mil gun gavo. Kar daya maya dayal sache. Sabdi mil gun gavo. And then what happens? Nanaka har var dekh bigse. When the bride sees the spouse, or when it acquires these virtues, it flowers. Vigse. Mundh man umaho. So it began with the word mundh, ends with the word mundh. In the beginning, the mundh was Joban Balarie, it was immature. And in the end, Mundh man umaho, the mundh, the youthful, immature, shallow bride, is filled with inspiration to develop itself, to mature. So that's the first stanza of this chant. Until tomorrow, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.